Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Beauty on a Budget. My name is Heather and I just want to say I know my last 4 videos were all just me talking. So today I'm just going to do a quick little intro on what I'm going to do, but I'm going to actually clean my cook stove today. So I'm going to show you the products that I use to clean my stove and where I get them from. Now, this I use cleaning, I know this one says bathroom foam. I do have the kitchen and bathroom one, but I like the scent of this one here. This one is Summer Fresh, made by Lysol. I really like these ones, these foam cleaners. You just spray on, wait a few minutes and wipe off and it's cleaned everything for you. I buy this from Dollarama. I believe they're $3 or $3.50 bottle. The other thing I discovered when I was cleaning, I had to clean up something in the garage and I grabbed, just the blue shop towels, and I just wanted to know how much better they would work if I used them to cleaning up. I don't remember, I had to wipe up something in the garage and I realized I can actually get these wet. They're not falling apart like normal paper towel. So now I actually use the shop towels when cleaning mirrors and glass, my glass shower doors and the glass tiles in the bathroom. They actually hold up, they don't rip and tear. So I can actually use one piece to clean, like one bathroom surface instead of multiple pieces cleaning the same surface. The other thing, and I got these were also from Dollarama. I think the packs of 2. I think they're $2 or $2.50. They might even be $3 now a pack. I'm not sure. But it's so much cheaper at the dollar stores than like Walmart or anything. And the other one for cleaning like the cook stove, because it's a glass top, is the window scraper. I had to buy a new one. I misplaced my other one, so I just bought this. This was $2.50 at Dollarama. And it comes with 5 replaceable blades, so it's a really good deal. And of course, you're cleaning your house. I love these gloves. I think their price may have gone up to $2.50 now. I'm not sure. This one I've had for a couple. Of years. It's been in my laundry room in the closet. Didn't know I had another pair, but this one says Perfect Housewife. I've got ones that say Super Mom and different funny sayings and. But they're the rubber gloves and they come quite far up your arm, which is really important when cleaning. So just in a few moments, I'm just going to reset up in my kitchen. I'll show you how I clean my cook stove. Okay, I'm going to show this. It's kind of embarrassing, but this is what my island looks like after you've had supper and it needs to be all cleaned off. And here is my cook stove. I haven't cleaned this in quite a few months, so I really wanted to, just wait till it got to this point. This would be like one of the worst my stove's ever been, but I wanted to get to this point so I can show you how to clean the cook stove. See, like the burner that we don't use often. And this, you can see the burners we don't really use. My wire's tangled. This is the burner we always use, and then this is the second burner we use, and then it's this one and this one. Now we don't really use this one because it is a double burner, but one of the 2 elements, I forget which one, works half the time. So this one we hardly use. So that is my cook stove top. Like I said, it's been quite a few months since I've cleaned it, so I'm going to just get ready and I will show you how I clean it. Of course, the first thing is to move everything off my counter. So I'm just moving all these extra pots off. Just gonna find room on the other counters for them. So I'm just gonna be cleaning my counters today. Like that. So now I've got my counters, my counter and my cook stove all cleared off. Just going to bring the camera a little closer. So this is the burner that's the worst. So first thing is I'm just going to grab this. I said it was just that bathroom cleaner. I do have the bathroom and kitchen one. Just gotta make sure this is locked or it's gonna be beeping at me. Although it might beep at me anyways. I haven't even wiped off. My kids have crumbs here from breakfast this morning. I didn't even bother wiping it off because I'm doing a big thorough clean. I said this is the bathroom one. I do have the bathroom kitchen one, but I like the scent of this one. Just gonna leave that for a few minutes. You can already hear it bubbling action, doing what it's supposed to be doing. So now I'm just going to open up my razor blade here. And the gloves. There it goes, because it's letting me know that the cook stove has got wet. Which is good when you're cooking and water boils over, but it's not good when you want to clean and you know that it's wet. And so I can't really get it to stop until I start to actually wipe away the excess liquid. Just opening up the gloves now. I'm just going to take the scraper and I'm just going to start to just scrape. I'm going straight up. I'm not worried about, I know where it needs to be worked a little bit more, but just doing this. I'm just going to scrape all this. I'm not worried about where I really need to get to at first. I'm just trying to make sure that there's nothing. What did I do? Okay. I just hit the retract button on my thing. I'm just going to go like this. I don't know if this will actually scratch the cook stove. They actually sell these for this purpose. You know, I mean, I've got scratches on here from just the cast iron pans, you know, scraping across here, which is what some of this damage up here is. It's actually because we have the cast iron pan that my husband and my son use when they cook their steaks and pork chops. So, and the rust kind of just, the cast iron pan just kind of scrapes. So I've been doing this for quite a few years. We've lived here 11 years now. So I've been cleaning with this type of scraper on this surface, and I have not really noticed any real scratches. Like, again, it's just, there's no food stains on these ones here that I really have to work at. Now, you don't want to use this dry, because now I've hit the point where this one is now dry, but I do see some food particles. But it's this one here. So all I'm doing is I'm just doing light scraping, going around. Just going to keep going around. I mean, you can see that I'm getting stuff off. With this burner, I'm going to bring it a little closer so you can see the stuff I'm actually scraping off. It was all hard on there. But just with that foam cleaner, just getting in there. I hope I got you in the frame. Okay, it looks like I'm, you know, all this brown, black, sludgy stuff is coming off. So I'm just going to keep doing this. For quite a, I think it does take quite a while to do this. Like I said, I really like to do this, you know, like, at the best once a month, but sometimes I'll go a couple months without doing this. It just depends on how much cooking I do or how much spills you get. more of this off. I'm just going to grab the little blue shop towel. I'm just going to soak this up. Like, look at that. That is like how much stuff I have scraped off, and I didn't really scrape too far. I'm just going to turn this way, get where it's not so dirty. I'm just going to wipe off the rest of the stove so you can see. Like the rest of the stove, I got that much. On this one, it looks like that. So you can see, definitely know which burners we use and don't use. So I'd say now about half my cook stove is good. Doesn't need any more work because we don't really use it for much cooking, mostly just for storing our pots and pans actually on the stove. Ones that don't fit in the cupboard, or the kettle, because we use the kettle sometimes like 3-4 times a day. I'll boil the kettle for making things, or tea or stuff, or hot chocolate for the kids. There. So now I've got, I would say about here is usually where the kids, stop and say the stove is clean, because it's cleaned off. But I'm still got to work on this one, and I set this one up here. Let's see, where is it in the frame? It's hard with this particular tripod. If I was using the other one, I could probably find it a little easy to get it in here easier, but this one here, I don't know if I can get these stains out, because I said this is from the cast iron pan when it was put on here wet, and it got a rust buildup under the pan and on the stove, and that was really hard to clean off. And I don't think I can get this any cleaner. I'm going to try though. So I'm just going to get some more of this bathroom cleaner here and spray it on here. Really good. I'm just going to let that sit for a few minutes, so I will be back when this has actually stopped all its bubbling stuff, and then I'm going to do another scrape around, and then I will be back to show you what a difference it will make. But it's still not clean, because it's still going to probably take me half an hour just to get this one done. Alright, as I've been scraping off, I've been collecting little bits of this burnt on stuff. So you can see as I hit a spot where there's burnt on, I stop and I just go back and forth until I'm able to get past that point. Also say I do have other cleaners. I don't want people to thinking I'm just using this bathroom cleaner. No, I'm using the bathroom because I'm out of my kitchen cleaner. I've also been using, I'll move my camera so you can see. I've also got this awesome, LA's totally awesome oxygen orange all-purpose cleaner that I got from Dollar Tree. So I've used this, I'll be using some of this too. I do have these. So this is my stainless steel wipes. That will be when I'm doing my stove. And, my stove, or the oven and the fridge. And of course I do have the Granite Cleaner because my countertops in the kitchen are granite. And I do have the Thermobrite cook stove cleaner. Now the reason I'm not starting with this is because this costs like between $12 and $15 a bottle depending on the brand and where I purchase it. Whereas I said like this is about $3 and this is $1.50. So if I start with these all-purpose cleaners, I said today I'm using the bathroom because I'm out of my kitchen cleaner, like foam, bathroom and kitchen foam cleaner. So I'm just using just the bathroom one. And I'm using these two just because it's so much it's been a while since I've cleaned my cook stove, but this would take so much, it would take like probably the whole bottle to keep cleaning to get this down to where I need to get to it. So I'm using this for the finishing touch when I've got this all done. This is the one I want to get back into using this one once or twice a month, so I won't have to keep doing this every few months and have so much buildup. But as you can see, it's just going to take quite a while because I'm just going so slowly. and I just go around, and I got to keep the surface wet. And when I hit where the food is, as you can hear, I hit some where the burnt on stuff is. Then I can't get past that, so I just got to go slowly until I get it scraped off. When I get, like I said, like when I'm doing this one, I'm not hitting any burnt on stuff. Same with this one, no burnt on. Same with this one, there's no burnt on. I said that might just be a stain from the cast iron pan. I don't know. Maybe once I get using the cook stove cleaner, that might take some of that off. But I just really have to work with where all this food gets burnt on. Like this would be when your pots boil over, there's always, you know, this outside ring of where your pot sits to where it boils over. And this is what I have to deal with, is all this, where the ring of stuff gets burned on. And I haven't cleaned it properly for quite a while. So I'm just going to keep doing this. And I said this is probably going to take me probably half an hour, at least half an hour to get this done. So all I do is just go slowly around. As soon as I hit where I found where the burnt on food is, I just go slowly over it until I've lifted it up. And as you can see, I'm getting all this burnt on stuff off. So I'm just going to push all the burnt on stuff in the center here. Oops. So I've got another big burnt on section right here. All I do is just go very slowly and carefully. So I'm just going to keep working on this until I get all this burnt stuff off this outer ring. So I'm just working on just this first, like where this element here's got two different settings. So I've got an inner one and an outer one. So I'm just working on just the outside until I can get to where I can see where the line would be of where the heating element is. Because right now the heating element is still all buried under all this burnt on food. So I'm just going to keep doing this. And I will be back shortly when I get this all finished. Alright, so it's been about another 10 minutes of me just scrubbing just between, let's see if I can get this camera lined up, from about here down around to here. So just been working on this outer ring and about halfway, just the bottom half. And this is how much black stuff I've gotten off. Here is that nice blue shop towel. I know it looks very disgusting, but I'm just gonna quickly dry. I know I took the gloves off for a second. This is not good. I've got a little cut on my finger. The cleaner is stinging, but just let's see if I can just zoom in somehow so you can see the difference of, like, when I go like this, I'm not hitting anything, any burnt items. And when I come up here, you can see I still have to do this top part of this outer ring. My cook stove keeps beeping, telling me that it's too wet. I'm just going to quickly kind of dry that a little bit. So you see, like, it's going to take me quite a while to get this clean. Now, I don't know if I can actually clean this center part anymore. This cook stove, I know the fridge is 2007, so like I said, we've lived here for like 11 years now. So I'm just going to grab another towel and just dry this off and get it to stop beeping. So it's very handy when you're cooking and food boils over and it rings at you, but it's a different thing when you're trying to clean and it ringing telling you that the cook stove is wet. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get rid of this stuff. I don't think so. Like I said, we've been here 11 years. The fridge says 2007. I do have the manuals for these other appliances, so I think it was like 2006 and 2008. So these appliances are, you know, getting up there in age. So I mean, I said we use this burner every day. We use both the center one and the outer rings. We actually use it on the both settings all the time. So this is the main one we use, and it was, you know, scratched and everything over the past 11 years, and I'm trying to clean it, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get it any actual nicer looking in the center. I think it's just so badly burned. I know this actually in the center is, I had cooking something and I actually boiled dry to the point where I actually burnt the bottom of the pan, and the pan was actually burnt to the cook stove. So this damage here, I don't think I can fix, but I'm just trying to work on, now that it's dry, you can see where the baked on food is, so right in here. So this is the ring I'm still working on trying to get gone, I guess you can see. And it's just going to be quite a while of just scraping, slowly chipping away until it comes off. Like that. So all I have to do is just got to keep working on it like that until I can just go straight across and not hit any food. So when I get this part here all chipped off, or I guess, or scraped off, chipped off, whatever you want to say, because it's more like a chipping off, then I will be back for the next step. I'm not quite sure, like I said, how long this is going to take me to do this, but you can see, like, as I'm doing it, you can see all the burnt food that I'm getting off. And if I did this on a more regular basis, I wouldn't have this much of a buildup. But I also decided if I just wait till I get this much of a buildup and do the video, then you can really, really see the difference. And then once you get it clean, and if you keep it up, you won't get that buildup. So it was a long time before we had buildup like that, because I used to clean really, really good. And then in the fall of 2016, I had a really bad fall. And so it was like, I couldn't move. I'm right-handed. I hurt my right arm. And it was like 7 months to get into physio. And then I was in physio for 19 or 20 months. And so that was just really hard to keep up with just the everyday cleaning. This became an extra task of cleaning. So for about 3 years, I'd say the cook stove didn't really get touched. It got cleaned after every use, but it didn't get scraped down, and it really built up. And so about 2 years ago, I started scraping this off again. So it went 3 years with just the bare basic cleaning. So I'm just trying to get this all back up, and it's been really hard couple of years trying to get this all back up. And like I said, this other damage up here on this burner is because the cast iron pan, and my son put the cast iron pan on here wet, you know, dripping wet, and he didn't dry it. And I don't know what he was thinking. He left water in the cast iron pan and left it on the cook stove, and it sat there for I don't know how many days. And then of course the pan had to get moved out of the way as we're using this burner, so it just kind of this water with the cast iron pan just left these marks. And again, I don't know if my cleaners will be able to clean that rusty stuff off, because it's not able to scrape off. So that I know. So that is like rust. So I don't know if that's gonna come off, but I will try. So like I said, I'm just gonna keep working at this top half of this circle, and then I will come back and show you the next step. All right, so I've been scraping us away. I've gotten all this scraped off as much as possible. I've just now lightly sprayed the whole cook stove with the Oxy Orange Cleaner. I sprayed a little too much, so now I'm just gonna wipe this off and get this dried. Just getting all that extra residue from all this stuff I was scraping off. Now I am going to just grab a clean piece of this paper towel. Or I'm using these blue shop cloths. I find they work so much better than just regular paper towel. And now I am going to just make sure I get this all nice and dry. And it's really, you can see a big difference already. Now I'm going to use my Thermobrite cook stove cleaner. Just put a little bit on each of the 4 burners, put a little more on this one. And I'm just gonna grab another dry piece, another dry blue shop towel, and just slowly just work this in a circle pattern like this. This side of the cook stove isn't as bad, so it's not going to take so long, but just really work this in. So this is the one that's got some rust marks on it from the frying pan. So that one, I don't know how clean I'll be able to make that one. And this one, I will not be able to get it shiny because I wrecked this one with the bottom of my pan. I'm just going to go up and down. Now I'm just like putting this stuff in, like you can see it's bringing stuff up. I don't know if you can see, but it's getting stuff off of the cook stove that I didn't know was still on the cook stove. It's getting all this stuff off. And I will show you this is my pot that I had wrecked my stove with. It's my stock pot. It's the only stock pot I have. Inside I burnt my noodles I was cooking, but there is the bottom of my pan where it got like burnt right onto here. So I am not going to be able to clean this inside part of this burner because of the way I wrecked it. So I'm just going to keep going like this. Trying to polish it basically, but I can see a huge difference in the other burners where I was able to get some of the extra stuff that had burnt in or burnt on, I mean. But like I said, this one I really wrecked this with when I had the pot on and I boiled it dry. I'm just going to get this wet. Just to get some water on here, just to get a little water just so I can just see how it's looking. like I said, mine's not going to be perfectly shiny. No, I've got scratches on here that once you scratch, you can't get off, and these scratches are just from sliding the pots across here, which you're not really supposed to do, but you know, the cook stove is just a flat surface, so who doesn't just move the pots? You're supposed to pick them up and move them, but who doesn't just find it easier just to slide the pot across the cook stove? That, and I'm going to go over a second time with the Thermobrite just to, oops, drop in my cloths. It's okay. These are just these little shop towel ones, so I'm just going to pour more this time. No, these are just these little shop towels, so they'll be thrown out when I'm done anyways, but I just don't want it to land on the floor and stay on the floor, because these are just so covered in all this burnt on food. It says to use a quarter size amount, but because I haven't cleaned this for a little while, I just want to use a little more. Just gonna keep doing this, so I will be back when I get more of this cleaner wiped off. I just got to get some water and just kind of really work this in and just clean it off. That's all I'm going to be doing, is just getting this all wiped off. Like I said, I will be right back when I've got this all done. Alright, so now I've got all that wiped off and clean, and now I've just got this really dry paper towel here, or the shop towel actually, and I am just really just giving good buffing just to make sure that all the cleaner is off the cook stove. Like I said, this is as clean as my stove is going to get because it has damage and wear on it. But other than this part here that will never be shiny, oops, I got stuff on my gloves. Other than this center part that will like never be shiny, doesn't matter how much product I pour on here, this will never come off. But this top one up here, I'm really impressed with how much of that rust and stuff I got off. So I think probably just if I just keep cleaning it, I might be able to get more of that rust off. It's never looked this shiny up here for a long time. Same with over here. Like this is, like I said, this part of the stove, over this chunk here of the stove, you know, nothing goes on here. I mean, I store a pot here and I store our kitchen utensils on here only because this is the control panel, and our cats can actually turn this on and off. So I had to find some way that they couldn't be able to turn these on or off, even when it's locked. If they stand here in the center, because even with the rubber gloves, I can unlock it. I'm not sure, I think it takes like 10, 20 seconds or whatever it is to unlock. See, my cats unlock it, and then if they stand there and they can walk across any of these burners. Cats actually turn them all on. So, you know, I just thought, oh, the cats turned the burner on. My kids must have not had it locked. And then I discovered it is locked, and my cats can turn the burners on and unlock it. So I keep my bamboo utensil holder right here. If I'm really cooking, I'll take it off the cook stove, but it usually just sits here just to prevent the cats from turning the cook stove on, because that's one thing I was always worried about. That my cats could, like, you know, turn a burner on and then they get burned or somebody else gets burned. But this is as clean as I'm going to get this. And now I'm just going to move the camera so you can see, so I can clean the rest of my counter, because I have my granite counter cleaner. So I will be just right back in just a moment. All right, so from here you can see like the rest of my island. So I'm just gonna grab another one of these blue shop towels. I found these and I've discovered it's so much nicer and easier to clean with these shop towels than paper towel. Again, I would be using my kitchen cleaner, but I ran out of the kitchen, so I'm just using the bathroom foam cleaner. But I'm just going to spray my counter. Just kind of leaving a couple bits that I need to clean, but I can't because where I've got my camera sitting. So I'll do that in a few moments. But what I like about this is you can see it doing things, you can hear it. I'm just going to take this and just start wiping this off. And it just cleans up the food that you don't even know is there. You know, my kids wipe off the counter, but it's not always cleaned good enough. So if I just let this sit here for a few moments and just let it do what it has to do, where I can feel dried on food. Just gotta move the chairs out of my way a little bit. One gone over once with the cleaner. I'm just gonna spray a second time, and this time I'm gonna leave it on just a few minutes longer, just so it can really get in there and really clean and sanitize good. I'm just going to leave that a couple more minutes, and I'm going to scrub that down again, and then I will be back when I use the Granite Cleaner. Alright, so now I've gone over the counter now 2 full times, and I bumped my cook stove again. I'm just going to grab a dry piece. Oops, I didn't have to worry about the stove top. So a dry piece. I'm just going to go over and just make sure the counter is dry. The counter is now dry, so now I'm just gonna put this on. Just making sure I've got it turned on. Okay, I'm just going to spray the Granite Cleaner. There's only 2 rooms in my entire house that actually have granite, and that's the kitchen and the master bedroom. So everywhere else is not granite. So I'm just gonna polish this. I get a nice shine on my granite counters. And there's another product that I want to buy for my counters because so we've lived here 11 years. We've never done any sealant on these. And I saw it at Home Depot. I just didn't have the money for it. I have to recheck the price because I know when I seen it about 8 years ago, I didn't have the money for it. And it's been a while since I've thought about it. So I'll have to go check out Home Depot and see what they have for that Granite Restore kit, because I do know that I've got spots in, I don't know if it's this down here, but I know in the master bedroom, just where the soap sits, it's left a mark on the counter that I can't get off. So I'm hoping if I do get to Home Depot and I buy that Restore kit for granite, that might help. I'm just going to just polish this side. And I just have the one spot on this counter to do, and that's just the other side of the stove top where I've got my phone camera set up. But yeah, this counter too, I can see it's got some pitting that just naturally happens from not being, you know, like sealed every so many years, I guess. Just never really thought about it. Never had granite before, never really thought about the proper full care of granite until fairly recently when I started noticing the little pittings in here. But there, my countertop is now cleaned, or at least my island, I guess, because this is my big island. I've got 1, 2, 3 other counters around me that are all, you know, probably about the same surface area to work with. So that's my island, and my cook stove are now clean. I'm just gonna move the camera over the other side of the stove so I can get this one spot here. I don't know what happened, it just kind of stopped on me. So I'm just grabbed another blue shop towel, and I'm just wiping this little corner here off. So now I've got my whole counter my whole island all sanitized. I've got my cook stove all cleared off. Just got to go over top of the stove because I kind of sprayed it down with some of this Granite Cleaner. Didn't mean to, but it happens when you're cleaning. Those products overspray sometimes. There, I've got that done. So now I'm just going to grab my pots that usually sit here on my stove. But you can see it's so much nicer, cleaner, shinier. So I'm just going to grab my pots where I keep them. Oops. That one goes there. I keep my kettle on here. So I said, when you've got the pot sitting here, nobody's going to notice that it's got marks on it. I said, now I've got my bamboo container with all my whisks and wooden spoons and spatulas. And then I have a cast iron pan. This is the one that caused the rust, which I'm really impressed with how little you can see the rust. So I'm going to get a closer shot so you can see, but that is how I usually have my stove set up. Not a lot of space here. My drawers are all full, my cupboards. I don't really have any cupboards. On this kitchen, the way it's laid out, I have this big island, and so on that side of the island, I get a couple cupboards. This side of the island is all drawers, So I've had to put all my pots in 2 drawers, and it just, I don't think I get the amount of storage as if it would have been 2 cupboards, because I would have like 2 different levels to get everything in, but because it's in these drawers, and so the drawers are just so compact for them to slide in and out, you kind of lose some of the space if it was like full cupboards. So this side of my island is all drawers, that side is cupboards, but they're very narrow. And even these drawers, they're not like as deep as like a regular cupboard would be. So, let's see. There's just something I just knew I had to go. Oh, the fruit basket. That's what's missing. I'm trying to figure out what's not sitting here on my, because I've got everything just, I moved to other counter spaces so I could do this. So I'm just trying to figure out what is missing here. I know. I got my fruit basket and just our regular paper towels. My little marble paper towel holder. The paper towels, it just sits here. And then I've got my big fruit basket that sits on the counter as well. Just sits right here. Kind of empty of fruit. I think that, yeah, that's all that sits on my counter. So just 1 second, I'm just gonna grab my camera so you can get a close-up of how much cleaner I got the cook stove. Okay, so here's my stove top. I said this I will never be able to clean any better. Same with this. This won't come any better. I got these scratches here. This is just from everyday wear and tear, just scraping the pots across. Up here, got it all clean. I said this was the one that was had all this rust stuff that was all over the whole surface. Got a little bit of the rust still in here, so I think if I keep working with it, I might be able to get more of it off. But there it is. If I step back, you can see it's like how shiny and clean. So you can see right here, you can see the rings are. So you can see this is where I had burnt my pot. But you can actually see both the rings on here. You can see the ring clearly on here. You can see both the rings and this ring. So you can see where all the burners would be. Never saw those. It's been a long time since you can actually see this center one here, because it was just always just caked on with so much stuff. Even these outer ring, it was always hard to tell where the outer ring really was, because all the burnt stuff was like came to about here. I think it was like it came quite far, because I can still see a little bit of where it had come. So I still have some cleaning to do, but I'm not gonna keep cleaning my stove. It's just now that I've got it to this point, I'm not gonna let it get back to where it was. So now every time I clean, I know it's just getting cleaner and better. And my countertops too, you know, now they've been properly cleaned with the Granite Cleaner. So now they are, again, like you can see where the pitting is. And that's just natural wear and tear, and that's from not sealing the countertops, which I kind of knew to do that, and then stuff happened and kind of forget. And then, you know, if you've never had granite before, and then you suddenly just start to notice little pittings, and you kind of look that up, and it's like, oh, you've got to reseal your countertop every, I think it's like 2 years or something. So we've been here 11 years, so I know it's never been done. So this is the cast iron pan that's wrecked my cooktop as well. Yeah, it's all rusted inside. That's from my son using it and not cleaning it properly, so all that rust wrecked the cooktop. And same with this, because he cooks on this burner with the cast iron pan too, so we get a lot of scraping from him going from here to here and back and forth. Try to tell the kids they're supposed to lift the pots up and set them down, but even I do that. See, like I just move this, that's what I do. Because it's a flat surface, you just slide it across. It's just so much faster and easier to do that. Okay, I just hope everybody found this tutorial, you know, helpful and useful on how to clean a cook stove. There's a glass cook stove when it's all burnt food, and cleaning my granite countertop at the same time. Again, just want to say thank you to everybody who subscribed to this channel and watching these videos. And I have a second channel, and it's called Made with Love by Heather G. So please check that one out as well. And I guess I'll see everybody in my next videos. Bye.